Hey guys, JJ here, and it looks like we may have just got our first details on a potential Resident Evil Code Veronica remake. So with that being said, let's get right into it. After the success of the Resident Evil 4 remake, fans are now eagerly anticipating which Resident Evil game Capcom will remake next. For the majority of fans, including myself, a remake of Code Veronica seems to be the logical choice for the overall story and lore. It's the first time Chris and Claire Redfield reunite after the events of Raccoon City and the return of Albert Wesker. If Capcom ever decides to remake Resident Evil 5 in the future, I feel like the story in Code Veronica is crucial. Well, it looks like that may actually be happening. Recently, a potential leak made its way across the internet and it's starting to pick up a lot of attention. Before we get into the details, all information you are about to hear is currently a rumor and should be taken that way until we get official word from Capcom. I feel like we've been down this road before. The details you are about to hear focus on the beginning portion of the game. The person that made the leak claims they play-tested a demo provided by the developers to test and give feedback for the new mechanics. Here's what they had to say. The game will feature a third-person camera perspective similar to Resident Evil 2, 3, and 4 remakes. This should be common knowledge at this point. As much as I love the classic fixed camera angles, third person or over the shoulder seems to be the perspective of choice by Capcom and modern day audiences. Next up, the game starts with a flashback to Raccoon City. Claire remembers the explosion and that leads us into the prologue of the game. This is interesting because we see the same intro with Leon at the beginning of the Resident Evil 4 remake, but now this time it's Claire's story. Capcom did a great job showcasing how the events of Raccoon City changed Leon. I can't wait to see how the events impacted Claire and how this will affect her character in Code Veronica remake. Moving on now to the prologue of the game. The beginning of the game takes place at the Umbrella Corporation as we seen in the intro cutscenes from the original game. The offices area serve as a tutorial for the game. Claire then escapes from the guards and gets captured. She's then taken to Rockford Island. Playing the beginning portion at the Umbrella Corporation makes way more sense to me and adds a lot more weight to the journey Claire is currently on to stop Umbrella. The prison area is now considerably larger than the original game with many more prison cells and guard rooms. Ricardo lets Claire go, and now she encounters a military man in a black suit. He is then quickly killed by falling debris from the explosion as the island is being attacked. Claire escapes, but then meets Steve in one of the prison cells. Claire is hesitant, but decides to let him go as they both share a similar enemy, Umbrella. Together, they escape the prison and enter a safe room. Here's where things get a little wild. In this safe room, the player can freely choose who they would like to play as, either Claire Redfield or Steve Burnside. Players can now explore the game as either the two characters. Each character has their own set of skills. Claire is better with knives and aiming her weapon. It's described as point aim. This is most likely quick aim. Steve can fire 2 guns at a time, run faster, can throw knives from a distance, but cannot mix herbs. The potential leak goes on to describe that Claire will give the player hints on how to solve puzzles and will often find hidden items. On the other hand, Steve can use stealth and can solve more complex puzzles. After that, the demo ends. So there you have it. Potentially the first details on a Resident Evil Code Veronica remake. Personally, I don't think the leak holds much weight, but I've been proven wrong before. If anything, it creates good discussion and will hopefully get people talking about a Code Veronica remake. It would be absolutely wild if this was true, and when Capcom makes the announcement, they drop the demo at the same time. I don't think that would ever happen, but one can dream. It's too early to know the validity of these rumors, but it is exciting to think of the possibility of a Resident Evil Code Veronica remake. We'll just have to wait and see. But now, I'm curious to know your thoughts. Are you excited for a potential Resident Evil Code Veronica remake? What do you think about the details discussed in this potential leak? What would you like to see added, removed, or altered in the remake? Let us know down below in the comments and let's have a discussion about it. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and for all the latest Resident Evil Code Veronica remake news, make sure to subscribe. The Residents of Evil is a Patreon supported channel and also supported by our YouTube members. So if you'd like to become a member and unlock access to custom badges, emojis, and exclusive live streams, click that join button down below. You can join our survival horror community on Discord, link will be in the description, and I have the Duke here to tell you a little about our sponsor, G Fuel.
Do you have need of anything for the road ahead? The Residents of Evil has expanded its services. Perhaps you're in need of a little pick-me-up. I recommend the G Fuel. You can even get a fair discount if you use the code ROE upon purchase. And as always, we thank you for your patronage, stranger.
As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and we hope to see you back at the Residents of Evil.